Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well today. My name is Makeda Voletta. I'm also known as the Renaissance Amazon. And in case you're unfamiliar with me, I am a holistic sports nutritionist, I am a strength and conditioning coach, I'm a birth worker, and I have committed my life to studying all the ways that we can take our bodies to its highest level. And, one of the things that one of the things that I was known for a lot over the years has been working with women, even though I also work with men as well. But today I want to talk about some women stuff, and I want to reintroduce myself to those of you who are not familiar with my work with Nani Eggs. So some people call them Yoni Eggs. I prefer Nani Egg because I take Nani from the word Puanani, which is a Hawaiian word meaning sacred flower. I resonate with that word more than Yoni, which is a Sanskrit word. But a lot of people know about Yoni eggs or jade eggs. Okay, so here's one right here. This is a rose quartz one, right? So I have many videos on YouTube talking about these eggs. And right now I am doing this video live on IG. I will post it onto my YouTube page. And on my YouTube page, I will put links. I'll put links to other videos I've done about Nani egg work below. So if you want to learn more, you can definitely take a look at those videos where I answer a lot of questions that you may have. But I just wanted to do a reintroduction video because I know I have a lot of new followers. A lot of you may not know about my background and my work in this area. And being that Easter is coming up, which is really a celebration of the spring equinox, okay? And the fertility of the land. Okay, so eggs are symbols of resurrection, of transformation, of rebirth. Eggs are also goddess symbols. Okay, as women we have eggs in our ovaries. Okay, also the bunny rabbits with Easter. What do bunny rabbits do? They have a lot of sex, they reproduce like crazy. Okay, and traditionally Easter was a pagan holiday, which really means earth-based tradition, came from goddess traditions. It was a celebration of Ishtar, goddess Ishtar or Estre. I have a video that I did a couple years ago talking about that with Easter. I will also post that below this on this YouTube thing. So, being that Easter's coming up, I wanted to do another video just reintroducing myself and talking about the eggs and how it can help women with so many things, okay? I started working with them in 2005. So 16 years ago now. Wow, time flies. And I started teaching women about them in 2007. I started teaching a class to women called Sensual Strength Training. And in this class, whatever happened to me from 2005 to 2007, I felt like in working with the eggs, I felt like I had to teach other women about it. And I learned so much more from 2007 on from working with other women. From about 2007 to 2014, I just learned so much from teaching women. I've taught classes in Costa Rica to Costa Rican women. I've taught classes all over the US, workshops, and there's a lot that I've learned about them, things that wasn't written in the books. And honestly, I should have written books by now, but I'm always researching. But I'm at this place now where I'm really ready to put that out there because I think that I have a unique approach and information on it. But setting that aside, I just want to say that it's very good for women of all ages, okay? So it's not just about, sexual pleasure, because working with the eggs, it does help to strengthen a woman's pelvic floor and vaginal muscles. So yes, it will make your vaginal muscles tighter, stronger, but it's not just about being tighter, having tighter vaginal muscles, it's also about having elastic vaginal muscles. So it needs to, it's not good for a woman's vaginal muscles to be so rigid and stuck in place. Like you don't want to be like stuck and frozen. There needs to be elasticity in the vaginal muscles where the muscle can be tight, but then it can stretch out to here or whatever, and then go right back to the same amount of tightness. That's what elasticity is, okay? If something is this tight and stretches out to here and then only goes back to here, it's lost elasticity. That's not what elasticity is. Elasticity means it goes back to here, okay? So the eggs help the vaginal muscles to be elastic. They help to prepare women for childbirth, okay? So getting women to connect to the vaginal muscles to know the difference between relaxing and contracting. one of the issues a lot of women have in childbirth is being able to open up. Childbirth is all about surrendering, just like when you throw up. Okay, when you throw up, you don't need someone to come direct you to, oh, okay, throw up now. No, when you're going to throw up, something takes over you. All you can do is go to the toilet, open your mouth, relax, and let it come out. Like, you have no control over that, right? Childbirth is the same way. A lot of women, though, especially women that have sexual trauma, they have a hard time opening up. And there's a lot of women with sexual trauma. So then in labor, they can close up, or, closing up because of a lot of pain. So working with the eggs gets a woman to connect to the difference between contracting and relaxing. In birth, you don't want to squeeze and contract, you want to relax, right? So it can help with that. It can also help with recovery from childbirth, okay? And it can help with the libido as well. A lot of women lose their libido, not every woman, but there are women who have libido issues after giving birth, and that can affect relationships and marriages. I've seen this. I'm speaking off of things that, I have seen these things firsthand. So working with the eggs, will help reinitiate a woman's libido. It helps to keep a woman's vaginal canal wet, okay? Because the wetness that comes from our Bartholin glands actually helps to prevent infections. It's important to maintain the pH of our vaginal canal and preventing infections, all right? Also, as a woman ages, okay, as a woman ages, her vaginal muscles become thinner and drier, and so that's why in a lot of older women, sex becomes uncomfortable. There are women who get vaginal atrophy as they age, and the medical community just wants to use drugs, okay? But working with the eggs can prevent that. It keeps the vaginal muscles thick and meaty as a woman ages, keeps it lubricated and wet, keeps, the nerves, the mind Nani connection strong, okay? So it also helps with women who've been through sexual trauma. It helps with protection, helps women with menstrual issues. There's a large number of things it helps with. And again, like I said, I have other YouTube videos where I go more in depth with all those things. This video is just meant to be brief, and I will post those videos below on the YouTube video. So if you're on Instagram and you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to follow me at the Renaissance Amazon on YouTube, okay? So I'll show you a few of the ones that I have. Like, I have some rose quartz and some obsidian, okay? Obsidian is very highly regarded in Mexico and also by the Taoists in China, which is what I originally learned about this practice from the Taoists in China. Have some peach moonstone and sunstone and red jasper, okay, and rainbow moonstone, and another carnelian. I said red jasper. It wasn't. This one was not red jasper. I apologize. Carnelian. Both of these are carnelian, and some amethyst in here too. Got some amethyst and some green aventurine. Okay, so and also some picture jasper, okay? So these are the different ones that I have at the moment. They're different sizes. Knowing about the sizes and stuff, I have videos where I talk about that. I could be talking forever if I talk about all these things, because in the classes that I teach, I would spend hours just answering all the questions that women have about sizes, and they have about, can you have sex with them? Which, yes, you can. Or, just a lot of questions that women have about the eggs. And so I've made several YouTube videos where I address that. So definitely check those out. I also have a Patreon page, which I will post the link to that below, where I am doing weekly classes for women who around the eggs. Because from like 2012, wow, I think it was only like 2 years. So it's probably longer than that. So about 2012, 2014, I had a group on Facebook for women who were working with eggs. There were a lot of women who bought eggs from me or took my classes, and I had a Facebook group where women who were working with the eggs could ask questions and share their stories, and a lot of women learned a lot because we learn things from other women, okay? Whenever I teach classes, whenever I've taught classes, and I would lead women through exercises, and then we would talk about our experiences. Like, the experiences that different women had would be totally different, and we would learn from those things. So that's one of the reasons why I created this Facebook group. So now with the Patreon page, I have ongoing classes that I will be posting on there for women, and it's a place where you can ask questions and we can share. I just think that every woman should know about them. I've had women bring their daughters to my classes who were young girls, and sometimes the young girls would be there just to listen or just to be in that environment because their mothers thought that they should be. Okay, this is ancient feminine knowledge. I've had mothers bring their teenage daughters, okay, or women in their early 20s. It's never like when a girl should start working with them. That kind of I leave to the discretion of the parent. I've known some mothers who have had their teenage daughters start working with them because they might have known that their daughter was already sexually active or something, even though you don't have to be sexually active. I've also known women who worked with the eggs who weren't sexually active at all. So again, I address all of that in my other YouTube videos that you can check out and listen to. So being that this Easter holiday is coming up, I'm offering a sale on the eggs, and you can find the eggs that I have in stock on my other IG page, which is at Nani Eggs, NANIEGGS. I'll write it below, at Nani Eggs. That's where I have the eggs that I have in stock on that Instagram page. I don't have a website for it yet. I'm such a nerdy person. I'm just always researching and busy with so many things. Like, eventually I'll have a website, but right now you can definitely see on the Instagram page the eggs that I have. And for this, this Easter holiday coming up, I'm offering, if you purchase, with the purchase of an egg, you will get my, I have an intro class for beginners, which is 5 recorded video classes, okay? It's 5 recorded video classes, which is for people who are, new to the egg and want exercises to do. And that will come with the purchase of an egg. You will get two free classes. So out of that 5 series, you either get 2 free classes or 15% off of the class, the full 5 class package. And I'm also offering 15% off of the eggs, okay? And you can see the different prices of the eggs on my Nani Eggs page, okay? Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. Any women who have worked with Nani Eggs, please feel free to write your experiences that you've had and how any changes that you've noticed, because it does do a lot. It makes a woman's orgasms also more intense. And orgasmic energy, sexual energy is also spiritual energy. Sexual energy and spiritual energy are of the same continuum. Okay, and this is something that I've learned from studying sacred sexual practices, but I've also learned it from studying dances of the African diaspora, such as dances from Haiti, dances from Brazil, the whole diaspora. I study dances from the diaspora in the Americas. And there's a lot of unsaid lessons in those dances, which is something I could also talk about for a very long time. And I probably will make another YouTube video where I speak about that, but I have spoken about that in other videos. So this is why my sensual strength training class, it was about working with the eggs, but it was also about teaching dances of the diaspora that involve hip movements to get women to connect to their hips and also move their hips, because most of our blood supply runs through our hips. We store trauma in our wombs, okay? We can store trauma in our body, but especially in our wombs. And as women, it's important, especially if you plan on having children, to work through those traumas before giving birth, because if not, we can pass it on to our offspring. And it can also be reactivated. So these dances of the diaspora are very healing dances. Also, in childbirth, it's important to have flexibility in your hips, okay? You want to be able to, so you see belly dancing and Congolese, my favorite, being able to move and manipulate the hips also helps you to get the baby out. The same way you get pregnant, moving your hips and working that kundalini, the same way you get the baby out, okay? So there's a connection between that. And those are also the same dances that seduce the man to make you pregnant in the first place. So it's all connected, okay? Patriarchal religion and patriarchal religious teachings want to make that invisible, but you have to observe the obvious, okay? Observe the obvious. So my sensual strength training class was, egg exercises, dances of the diaspora that involve hip movements to get women to connect to their hips and move that energy around. And also strength training exercises for the entire body, teaching women why it's important to strength train, okay? and teaching women how to do it correctly. A lot of women are afraid of lifting weights, and but it's really important. So I have another video where I talk about my central strength training class as well, so I'm not going to get a whole lot into that. Somebody said that women leave men when they have sex. Yeah, I said that you can't have sex with it. I'm not getting into a whole long conversation about that in this video. Maybe I'll make another video about sex and eggs, but I mean, if you listen to the sum total of the videos I've done on Nani Eggs, you'll see that I do talk about that. And yes, you can have sex with it, with them inside. And there's a lot that I could share about that topic, which I will do on my Patreon page, because some of it, I have a lot of personal experience with that, and I'm not going to necessarily share that on Instagram. Some of that is for my sacred circle of ladies. But in that group that I had on Facebook, there were men in the group though, okay? It was mostly women, but I did have a few men in the group who were partners of the women who were in the group. A few of them who I felt like had good energy, because I feel like men can also learn. And I know men who I personally know men who introduced the eggs to their wives, okay, and helped guide their wives on this journey. So I do feel like it is good for some men to know about sacred women's knowledge, okay? And so there were some men in that group when I had it before, and there were some women who were against that. They felt like, oh, it should just be women. And I'm like, no, like, some of these women are here because of their man. And, there's certain, and any man who could be a fly on the wall to a bunch of women just being real about being a woman and what we want sexually and all those things, a man can learn a lot. And in me working with women, I've seen a lot of women transform. I've seen women, I remember when I went to teach in the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica 11 years ago now, this was 2010. And I didn't go to Costa Rica to teach a bunch of Americans who were going to Costa Rica. I went there to teach Costa Ricans, okay, on the Caribbean coast and in San Jose, and then I came back 3 more times by Costa Rican women who brought me there to teach in different parts of the country. When I went back to the Caribbean coast, a lot of those women had left their husbands, okay, because of working with these eggs. And that was because they were in bad relationships, and working with eggs was empowering to them, had them wake up and transform. So there's a lot that I've seen, and just me talking about this makes me know I need to get my book done. So I'm gonna go work on that. But I just wanted to do this brief reintroduction of myself, because I also am a trained doula, and I've been to many birth working conferences over the years. And I remember when I learned about how women with sexual trauma, it can be activated in labor. And so then that opened up a whole nother thing for me when it came to how the eggs can help a woman, get ready for birth. It's not just about strengthening the muscles and getting her to connect to the muscles, but also helping to alleviate trauma that's there. Eggs naturally, any kind of egg naturally absorbs negative energy, okay, and transforms it, okay? Whether it's stone or chicken eggs. There are Mexican grandmothers that use chicken eggs to clean your aura and do readings, okay? So this is shape of the egg itself. Eggs can be drilled, which means they have a hole going through them, or not. And when you have the egg with the hole, you can tie a string through it for easy removal, which is not necessary, but some women need that or want that. But then there's also more advanced exercises that women can do, like vaginal weightlifting and other exercises where you have a string in the egg. So that's what that's for. And who's something, and I've also helped women have VBACs, which are vaginal birth after cesarean. In this country, once you've had a cesarean section, in a lot of states, it's like illegal for a woman to have a vaginal birth. Nobody will support it. There are mothers that have had to go to another country to try to have a vaginal birth. But I know women that have had vaginal births after cesareans from working with the eggs. So I do think it's an important practice. Over the past few years, I haven't talked about it so much because it was like all I was known back in 2012. That's all people knew me for. 2013, they thought that's the only thing I did, and I've kind of don't talk about it as much. But there are people who've been following me since back then who still know that, still hit me up. But I thought, you know what? Let me do a reintroduction because I have a lot of new followers who don't know much about it, and so there goes. I'm gonna leave it at that. I talked about my sale. You can go to my Instagram page at Nani Eggs and you can see what I have. And if you would like to make a purchase, just hit me on my Instagram page, or you can email me directly at nanieggs@gmail.com. But the email address is Nani, Nani, Eggs, EGGZ, Z at the end of it, at gmail.com. That's the email. And the IG page is Nani Eggs with an S, okay? So if you have any comments, feel free to share it. I'm gonna let you guys go. Hopefully you learned something, and if you did, please like it, please share it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.